Okay, well, welcome everybody. It is go time. I'm going to share my screen here. Welcome to the HubSpot Admins HUG. There we go. We're sharing now, right? We're here every Tuesday. Deanna and I are your hosts, and every Tuesday we lead a webinar like this where we go deep in a particular aspect of being a HubSpot admin or a particular HubSpot tool. We're delighted to have Colin here with us today talking about Breeze Assistant. You are here. We have a lot of events scheduled now. Last week I was sort of apologetic. I hadn't been scheduling events. I have corrected that. We have a lot coming up. Next week we will be talking about social insights. I highly recommend everybody comes to this event because while social insights is simply the dashboard where you see analytics of your social tools, that team is working on some very exciting things and will be recruiting folks to a private beta next week that they asked me not to spoil the surprise for. So come. We're also going to talk about Data Hub on April 14th. That is Spring Spotlight Day. We are partnering with the Spotlight team. We are going to have an official event here at the HubSpot Admins HUG. All the stuff that's announced and discussed at Spotlight generally will be boiled down to just the things you as admins need to know. I'm going to present a little bit at that. We're going to have some product folks who are launching tools for Spotlight there. It's going to be good. And it goes on from there. We have a lot of things coming up. Contracts was recently announced. I believe it's currently private beta or something, but by June it'll be available. That'll be a good one to come learn about. That's a pretty powerful new tool. You guys asked for attribution reporting. The soonest I could get it for you is July because the product manager is going on parental leave, but he will come in July and give you a deep dive into attribution reporting. So we are continuing to build out this content calendar. That's the future. Looking to the past, we have this YouTube channel. Today's event will be recorded and posted here. All of our events usually are. Check this out. If you want to rewatch an event, or if you miss one, or if you want to share it with a friend, YouTube is the best place to do that. We love to have show and tells where you learn from each other things about HubSpot. So if you ever build something you're proud of, if you make a really cool workaround, or if you solve a problem or a mystery inside HubSpot where you learn something, please fill out this form. Let us know. Once we have 4 or 5 of you, we will schedule another one of these. We've done, I think, 3 over the course of the past few years. We would love to do a lot more. So I know you all are doing great work. Brag about yourselves a little bit so we can let you share that great work with others. Then we have space on community. It's good. And we have we're mostly active, I would say, on LinkedIn. Deanna and I are both very active on LinkedIn. We also have this group we've created and a handle. So yeah, connect with us, connect with each other, be social. If you ever have a request or an idea for this HUG, whether that's a speaker or a topic you'd like to hear about, we are here again every Tuesday, and we really value your input. We want these to be as relevant and valuable to you as possible. This form is a fine way to let us know, or if you just connect with me or Deanna on LinkedIn and send us a message, we will do everything we can to make your dreams come true for HubSpot admin events. That is a brief overview of stuff we do here. Adminhug.info is your source of all the different resources, a bunch of different things. Deanna has put together this housekeeping page where links to everything I just talked about and even additional things are here and ready for you. So that's enough for me. With that, I'll hand it over to you, Colin.
Oh, hey. Hey, it's good to be here, Kyle. Thanks for inviting me. It's nice to get to meet everybody. My name's Kolin Koehl. As Kyle asked me earlier, I live in Austin, Texas. I am new to HubSpot, actually. I joined in December, so newer to HubSpot. And I am the product leader for Breeze Assistant and in the mobile team as well. So really happy to get to talk to you today about Breeze Assistant, walk you through what we're trying to do for 2026. I'd also really love the chance to spend a lot of time in the product, demoing some of the stuff we've built over the past 3 months since I've been here and even a little bit before. And then getting all your questions and feedback so we can make this, a truly amazing product to help scale your GTM teams. So thanks for having me. I got a couple slides that I can share to kind of maybe set the stage, and then we'll dive right into the product and go from there. Let's see, or cleaned up all my tabs this time. So one of the, look, if you haven't tried Breeze since before, I'm going to say before December, At least give it a good go and try it again. I think something happened in December with AI in general. It was around the holiday break where I think a lot of engineers just had like free time, like not just like all the engineers in the world, and they were starting to use like Claude Code and Codex and build on these new models. And there was like this aha moment that if you have a good harness around an agent, it can go and build amazing things. And it started to happen where coding used to be like a task where, you would write 80% of it and Copilot would do the last 20%. And that kind of flipped in December. And what we've done with Breeze is we've tried to capture so much of that momentum and put it into HubSpot and into Breeze Assistant so that Breeze is the way that you can start to scale your go-to-market efforts and initiatives as well. And that's, our real goal here is to have you be able to scale and make this an indispensable tool for your GTM teams. So it's going to remember also, this is the worst it will ever be. It's only going to compound and scale and get better and better. Just like, ChatGPT 3.5 didn't get worse when 4.0 came out, right? Every new model upgrade will get better. We're constantly adding tools and things to Breeze as well. So the one thing I'd really encourage you to do is just dive in and keep playing with it and push the limits every week. Like we add so many things to it, it's hard for me to actually know what to announce and what not to announce because so much capabilities get added. So I understand that the surface area of Breeze is a bit jagged at times, and our job is to smooth it out to make it really powerful for you and your teams. And we'll dive into what that looks like this year. But yeah, the idea is that this is your go-to-market expert. We're going to talk a lot about context today and what that means for Breeze Assistant in particular. But the idea here is that Breeze, it sits in your portal. It understands your entire portal, your setup, your configuration, your custom objects, your entire CRM. It understands the team structures you have. It understands you as a user and what permissions and limitations you have too, so that it's actually going to provide the best guidance to you. And when it takes action, it's going to take action knowing those roles that have been specified by your admin too. It also includes all of the current like workflows that exist today. Like a question I get asked a lot is from admins is, oh, I don't want my reps to use Breeze because what if they create a new deal or lead, but it doesn't follow the policies we have in place? Breeze uses the same policies and APIs you've set up and configured. So it will not create a deal without having all of the required fields. It will ask the rep several follow-up questions to capture those. But it's designed as a way to really like superpower your team so they can really start to scale through AI. And this should be the most powerful AI go-to-market agent. The only thing I want to talk to is like the work hasn't changed for everybody. Like the problems are still the same in the world, especially with go-to-market for marketing, for sales, for service. But Breeze is the way that when we wrap Breeze around all of the tools, that it can really help do these things more efficiently and better and offload a lot of the tasks that used to take sales reps a lot of time. We can watch Breeze do it a lot more effectively and efficiently so they can spend more time with customers. In marketing, you can spend more time in strategy. You can use Breeze as your strategy partner as well. And in service, you can spend more time, again, with customers actually triaging and understanding their challenges and less time personalizing the follow-up responses and the emails and really setting up queues and things. Like Breeze is the tool to help you do that and do that better. But I am new to HubSpot. So one of the things I first did was I dove into all of the analytics of how you were using Breeze through like January. And two things stood out to me that I want to talk about. And that's people want Breeze to do work for them. Like I think a lot of times it's a little chatbot at the top and people get confused of, is this a help how-to support bot? And they use it for that. Actually, about 40% of all the queries to Breeze are just help questions because people need help getting started and they want help understanding how to navigate HubSpot. They're a new rep. They've never worked in sales before. It's the first time in a CRM and they need to know how to do something. But really where the superpower comes is Breeze doing work for them. So anytime we have really complex tools being used, like adding data to CRM, upserts, workflows, we see really high CSAT scores. And then the other thing is when your users start to get in a pattern of using Breeze heavily, they really start to love it. And it's one of those things where I just challenge you and your teams to try to use it every day for a week and just say like, hey, this current task I do in HubSpot or I do outside of HubSpot, how can I do it in Breeze and do it for a certain period of time? And you'll find the value that accrues there where you can start to get that leverage. And our goal for the product here is that Breeze becomes the indispensable go-to-market system of action for you. So this is what we're all basing our entire year off of, in really becoming the best go-to-market system of action. And that means that we do work for you at scale too. I don't want to go into the roadmap view yet. I actually want to dive into the product real quick and show you some of the changes that we've been working on and building on. And then I'll dive into tell you about 2026 and what that looks like, and where Breeze is going. Give me 1 second to move all these Zoom windows around here so I can navigate this. So here I'm in a demo portal. So bear with me as, demo data, demo portal. But one of the early things we did with Breeze is we realized that almost half the questions were about help and how to, and how do you do something. So now when you go to Breeze and you say something like, maybe you're a new rep, how do I create a deal? Let's ask something really simple. Breeze sits on a lot more knowledge tools than it ever did before. So we've indexed all of the HubSpot knowledge base, all of the Academy data, including every transcript that's ever been created in the Academy. We have other like proprietary best practices guides that are also loaded in Breeze as well as knowledge stores. So when you ask Breeze a question, it's going to go and pull from 1, 2, 3 different knowledge sources, and then it's going to respond. And here it's going to give me, okay, here are the ways I can create a deal. Now, obviously, you all know how to create a deal, but if you're a brand new rep out here and it's your first time creating it, maybe you don't know where to go. You don't know how to do it. So a few things we added to Breeze to make this really better for you and easier for you. The first is we added nav links. So HubSpot has really deep too. There's a lot of power in there, but it's also hard to find where to go. So just by clicking one of these, we will actually take you right to the page you need to go to. This is really powerful when you have something like, how do I change my email signature? How do I change the logo in HubSpot? Like, we'll actually take you right to the page, and then we'll offer that guidance for you as well. So here, go to the deals index. It has all these instructions. We've also included images from the knowledge base and from the Academy in here as well. So we'll embed these, and this helps users just get started again for the first time. I don't have a video in this one. Let's see if I can do what is loop marketing? On the Academy, we have a ton of great video content. And what I wanted to show you here is how Breeze will pull in some of the video content here as well. Now, it's an AI agent, so it's probabilistic and not deterministic. So it won't give the exact same structured answer with the same embeddings every time. But let's see what we get here. Here we go. So you'll see Breeze now actually pull up not only the citations of where it got the answers from, but even the Academy videos. And we will go ahead and jumpstart right to the part we think is most relevant for you. So the way I like to describe Breeze to new buyers of HubSpot is this is the fastest way for your team to ramp and onboard on HubSpot. There's really no faster way for them to learn and understand. We have the Academy, we have great resources, we have training, we have partners, but just going in and asking Breeze questions is a really fantastic way to get started and to learn how to navigate Breeze. Another thing that I really like to do with Breeze is to talk about some of the power of the context that's built in here. So here I can ask a question like, can I create sequences in Marketing Hub? So I'll ask a question like this because I actually don't know how my user's set up in this demo account. And what Breeze is going to do is it's going to pull all of my user roles and permissions. It's going to pull the portal and how it's set up as well. And it's going to come back and tell me, one, if I have access to do this, then great. And if I don't have access, it'll help navigate me towards who and how to get access. And I know I asked a question, didn't even make sense. So that was part of this as well to see how we'd get this answer. But it pulled my context so that it understands what type of permission I have, what type of seed I have, and then will give me a good quality answer here in this type of situation. What's also nice is the brand kit capabilities. So let me switch into a different demo portal here. So I like this one. And if I ask it, based on my CP, let's do one where we actually want to pull like from the brand kit. What should my brand personality be? In here, I want to showcase some of the basics here too of Breeze pulling from your brand kit, pulling from how you've configured HubSpot as an admin to really set it up. And then it's going to guide what this brand personality should be. Then we could talk about how this can also influence other sections of how you set up and automate inside of Breeze. So here we see Breeze pulled a lot of the content or all of that context. It says, based on what's saved in your portal, the best fit brand personality should be authoritative, dependable, and solution oriented. So this is a construction type company, and most of the sellers are the CEOs, and most of the sales processes are here. So here we're giving a really good, overall brand personality based on the target audience. It's really going to go in depth. So if you're a marketer, you can kind of just vibe with this because it has all that context and set up for you. And I could say something like, what should my intro emails look like if sending them cold after a webinar. And again, Breeze is going to pull that same context. It'll pull everything from the brand kit that's been preloaded too, and it will go ahead and shape what these intro emails should look like. Can also give you a little sneak peek. The team is working on email mode for Breeze as well now. So as a rep, it'll actually help you create like an artifact that'll branch out for you to send really targeted emails that you can build and customize with Breeze that are based on your brand kit. So you have full control over them, which is fantastic. So here I get a good understanding of what subject should be, the opening, the value. I get a couple templates. This is great. I can go copy and paste these and really get to work and build on these as well. Sorry, trying to monitor the chat here a little bit. Everybody calls it Breezy. I feel like we should rebrand this, Kyle. I've seen this so many times.
That's funny. This is the first time I've heard it. But yeah, people are sharing lots of things they've done with Breeze, which is pretty cool.
So
And
it's
they're also
fun.
asking questions.
Yeah, let me dive in and see if I could get to a couple. Sorry. One other thing I'll add to this is Breeze also has a lot of memories. So if you have a way, or it has the memory capability, I could say like, I like short emails, not long. It should always remember it, but let's do this. Remember that. And Breeze is going to go ahead and actually save this to memories. So now the next time it's going to rewrite that. And you can go to your memories and your settings by clicking the dot, 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 and going to the memories tab. In here, you will see all the memories. Here it says user is CEO, and then prefer short emails over long for communication style. Oh, sorry, Kyle, I cut you off there.
No, that's fine. So I'm seeing a few notes here. Chad said he would love for Breeze to be able to edit properties. It can edit properties, right? Like you can ask it to update records things.
Yes, absolutely.
And
Breeze sits on the entire CRM. So all of the CRM tools, the custom objects, every CRM object Breeze has access to, read and write. If you tried it in the past, it maybe wasn't as great at using those tools. I would just encourage you to try it again. We've come a long way with the tool capabilities for Breeze using the CRM.
yeah, I feel like with data stuff, Breeze is actually really good. Like building custom objects and properties and filling them in. It does some pretty cool stuff. Um, yeah, I
And we
don't.
can
Do you
dive
want to
in.
take some questions now, or do you want? You can keep going. We can come back to questions at the end. Um,
No, happy to take. Let me show one example of how it writes to the CRM and how I've
okay,
seen some reps really use it as like a power tool. And then let's dive into some questions and keep going from there.
okay.
One of my favorite ones is I can say like I just met Kyle from Tesla. He is interested in an SEO package. Budget is $100. Rate these for me. And what's going to happen here, if should happen here, is Breeze is going to use all the CRM tools, load them, and then it's going to first check: does Tesla exist as a company? Does Kyle exist as a contact? Is Kyle related to Tesla? And if not, I didn't give it much information here, so this is also a demo portal. But it should come and say, do I need to create Kyle? Do I need to create Tesla? Do I need to create a deal for these? And then go ahead and actually execute on this, which is really, really helpful just for scaling your CRM usage. I think so many times sales reps just don't like to update the CRM because it's a nuisance and it's hard. And if you make it easy for them, they'll do it. And I think this Breeze is the best way for them to fully leverage it. And when you ask it multi-step things too, it will take a little bit of time to go navigate it because it's pulling a lot of the tools here. So one of the things we're doing here is we're actually adding um, all the to-dos and steps that Breeze does. So you'll actually get more visibility. Right now, you just see like updating CRM, but you actually see a drop down of like Breeze used these two tools and then it paused and it used these two tools and it paused and did this. It came back to you for a follow-up question. So this is what's going to end up happening here with Breeze, just to give you more visibility into why some of the tasks take longer, because they do require some deeper thinking. And here's the output done. So it created contact Kyle, it created a deal assigned to Tesla for SEO package, $500. You can also go ahead and add something like I could add notes to this. add to the deal that we discussed an upgrade of web analytics 2, which is SEO. In here, we'll see Breeze go ahead and search and find these same records and apply it. There we go. Now it's all been updated.
And it fixed your typo.
Yeah, I'm a terrible typer at speed too.
Well, and with everyone watching. Cool. So you mentioned earlier, people have workflows and like processes that need to be followed. Gina asked, we have procedures where users are not supposed to create deals manually. We have workflows set up that requires them to create contact and company records first and generate the deal from those records. Can I educate Breeze how we need it to respond to the users? So, like, if there's a rule, just a process, I don't, there isn't currently a way to enforce this just natively in HubSpot, I don't think, where a deal can't be created unless there's a contact or company associated with it. But I don't know, is there a way you can tell Breeze to follow those rules?
It's a good question. I mean, if Breeze could do it outside, it can. A couple of changes that are coming that are actually in flight right now that'll land by the end of April is the ability for you as an admin to customize Breeze more as well. So what you'll end up seeing
Nice.
in the product is you'll have a settings tab where you can add custom instructions to Breeze. And that would be one section you could add custom instructions to say something like that, like, hey, you need to
Oh, yeah,
follow this
yeah.
process when you create deals. Because it's probabilistic though, you can't obviously guarantee it happen every single time, but I think you'll get a lot of control over Breeze that way for the first time, which would be amazing.
Yeah, that's really cool. Steven asked, what is the best way to use Breeze to draft a response to an email in HubSpot without having to copy paste the email into the Breeze panel? So something that I've been really excited about with Breeze lately is it knows what page you're on, and you can just ask
Mm.
questions about the page you're on. I don't know if that extends to like specific emails and activities you want to respond to, but can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. So let's pull up the deals page here. Let's go to or pull up a random deal here from this demo portal. So like Kyle mentioned, we have Breeze can see what's on this. It knows what's on the page. It can even see it. So I could even say something like, and Breeze will use the right tools. It'll pull the context here. I know the close dates here, but it'll find it for me. So a lot of users, sometimes things are buried in the UI that'll help surface and find those things. But because Breeze can like see the UI and also understand it, you could ask it those personalized questions. Like if you wanted to send a follow-up email here, you'd be able to describe what you're looking for based on where we are in this deal. Deal, help me craft email. Now, the email cover question you asked, which is, oh, I have to copy paste. That is something we are working on solving actively. So when you do ask Breeze to create an email, it will have an email artifact that will pop, and then you'll be able to edit it. If you've used
That's
Claude
cool.
before or ChatGPT, it creates those artifacts. So email will be a first-class artifact in Breeze, and it'll pop out, and you can kind of just like you would with ChatGPT, like vibe with it and build it. And because it sits in HubSpot, it sits on top of your entire brand kit and all the CRM records. It's going to be really powerful for you to get that personalized outreach, which is a core part of our loop marketing strategy here as well. So unfortunately, it is copy paste at the moment, but we are getting away from that as soon as possible.
Nice. We are all caught up in the chat now, I think. We have 13 questions in the Q&A, but we will save those for the end. So if you want to continue on with the stuff you're saying, just want to make sure those didn't get lost in the scroll.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Another really fascinating thing, if I can go back to the deals page here. I don't know what the step stages are in this, but because Breeze because Breeze has access to the full CRM object again. One of the nice things sales reps like to do is sometimes you'll have like HubSpot has a note taker. Sometimes these other note takers they just want to update a deal. You can actually just dump Transcript in and say update the status of this, and like Breeze will go to look for you. It'll go and do it. It might take a minute, but it's actually going to update the notes. It's going to update the contact. It's going to populate that. So let me give an example of this. I pull in this demo transcript I have. Sorry, 1 second, trying to copy paste. My favorite use cases. Tesla deal we just created. We move the deal into discovery and add these notes from this call. And here, I just pasted in a transcript. Breeze is going to pick up on the transcript. It's going to summarize it. It's going to go to the deal. It's going to create the notes and really make that powerful and fast. One way that helps you do this at scale is we have this feature called saved prompts. I don't know if you all have seen this before, but you can go here and you can actually add prompts and really create like templates, like Mad Libs almost. And from here, it really helps you create these prompts. You can share them out to your entire team now, so they can all use the same prompts as leverage as well to help them scale. So let's add a new prompt and say something like, summarize the deal for me. And we could do something like, let's do deal. You could add tags to this as well. Like this is just for the sales team. To Breeze Assistant, hit save. And now, but Breeze is still thinking, so let me go back at the moment. Once it's done doing that transcript update, you can actually see this show up on the front. Oh, here we go. So now when I hit these saved prompts, I'll be able to go to my summarized deal. And then deal, meaning if you don't put anything in here, it'll actually take the deal on the screen. Or you can go ahead and add, and it'll search the deals that are already in here, which are really powerful just to get a quick insight into what's happening. Again, it's all kind of like Mad Lib sorted and Mad Lib oriented. If you haven't connected your applications to Breeze, I would really encourage you to do this, especially calendar. It's super powerful just to open up Breeze in the morning and just say, hey, I have a call in 20 minutes, prepare me for it. Breeze will go and grab the calendar. It'll go through the CRM. It'll do a fan out search. It'll prep you for who's joining the call, who's on the call, who you're not ready for, and just give you a really good overview. It also helps with the follow-up afterwards. You could say something like, hey, it's 11 o'clock. We just left our 10:30. Here are my wrap-up notes. And Breeze will go pull it from the calendar. So really powerful to help you scale from that front. I'll talk a little bit of roadmap here in a second after Q&A, but maybe this is a good spot, Kyle, to pause and do some questions.
Maybe. So what we typically do for the Q&A is we'll save it till the end.
Okay.
And then people can upvote, and we'll just work most popular, least popular. I can pull a couple out if you want to answer questions while we wait for this to load, or I don't know if you want to hop back into your slides.
Yeah, let me hop back into there. I want to talk a lot about what we're building towards this year, so you all know where your team's going to fully be able to leverage Breeze. So at the top is earn trust. So we want Breeze to be the best at everything HubSpot. It should understand HubSpot in and out, which is why we've given it all that knowledge and all that context where you can find. So the academy data, the knowledge base. So as a new rep, a new service rep, a new marketer, a new CRM user, you can get full leverage from Breeze here. And this is what we've really made big investments in right now. The second thing is that we want Breeze to be the system of action for you and to take action. So we talked a lot about an on-the-go sales rep updating a deal, moving a deal through the pipeline, asking analytics questions. All of these things are capabilities we have today, and we're going to really build on them over the next 6 months. So things like longer running jobs to get done. Like if you ask Breeze right now to find out, look at my close lost for the past quarter and tell me why we lost those deals, right? That's a long running job. Breeze has to go pull maybe 500 deals It's got to view them all. It's got to analyze them. So to do that, we need to build some tools like a to-do list for it to go do it. We might even have to give it the right code interpreter so it can actually analyze these things at scale and then respond to you with a really high quality answer. So the talk to my data use case becomes more real with this take action flow. And this is what we want to invest in. So not just the individual contributors like the reps or the service reps can get value here, but the managers can get a better understanding of the data that's in HubSpot and how to piece it all together. One of my favorite things we're going to work on is the work together phase. So if you've ever used like a Lovable experience before, you know how nice and easy it is to go in and just chat in natural language and to build a beautiful like app or a beautiful web page or landing page. All of the editor experiences in HubSpot will be powered by Breeze. So Breeze will be the front door for building those, creating those, and co-creating those because we think it's the most it's the easiest way for you to edit them. Um, this also means that when you have other agents in HubSpot, that Breeze will help orchestrate those agents. So if you think of a world, I think my favorite scenario here is how Breeze can interact with other HubSpot agents. Is the sales rep leaves the conference and they get that list of 300 leads and they're in a CSV and they're always formatted incorrectly and they're missing half the fields. And the rep can just like take a picture of the lead list and upload it to Breeze. And then Breeze will say, "Do you want me to create leads?" And you say, "Yes." So Breeze creates the leads for you for all 300. It goes through that entire process. And then it'll ask a follow-up question. Do you want to use Data Agent to enrich these records? Say, "Yes, use Data Agent." Data Agent will go and enrich the records and come back. And then, lastly, it could say, like, "Do you want me to assign these to the right reps now? Would you like me to also use Prospecting Agent to draft the first intro emails?" And you can say yes. And then Breeze will orchestrate with that other agent. So it becomes like your one-stop shop to orchestrate all of the agentic capabilities in HubSpot as well, just through natural language. And I'm really excited about that coming to life. Go anywhere. So with a lot of these capabilities you've seen in Breeze today too, it's natural that it should also live in the mobile app. So before we've had two mobile experiences, we've had the Breeze mobile app and then the HubSpot mobile app. We will be collapsing those so that it will be just the HubSpot mobile app, and Breeze will be a core part of that app. So anybody can easily access Breeze on the go on their device instead of having to just use it from a desktop experience through the embedded mode. We think that's really going to get a lot of leverage for especially on the go sales reps. And then one of my personal favorites is the voice mode here. A lot of folks that use AI tools today just like to talk to it. They don't even like to type because you saw all my typos today. It's just easier to talk. And it's just much easier for a sales rep if they're in the car, if they're on the go, just hit the mic button and just talk. And we want voice mode to go both ways, not just dictation or transcription, but also like a voice mode where it can speak back to you. We'll try to give Breeze a voice here so that when you're on the go, you can say something like, "Hey, I'm driving to my 7:30 o'clock dinner. Right? What did we talk about last week?" And Breeze can go and pull the data and come back and give you an answer. And you can have a conversation with Breeze that way. Sorry, scroll through the slides there. The thing that's missing from this as well is really Breeze being scheduled and taking action behind the scenes. And this is a really core capability we're excited to work on as well this year, where um, Breeze is not just a reactive agent, but a proactive agent. So that if you set it up and configure it, Breeze will actually go and make recommendations to you every morning of like, "Hey, here's your current pipeline. Here are the recommended 3 steps we think you should take." And it can do a lot of that background work for you, similar to like an OpenClaw type environment of how that can give you a lot of scale and leverage. And yeah, those are some of the things we're very excited to work on and talk about. I know there's a ton I've missed here because there's a ton of capabilities baked in. It's just hard to demo the entire surface area. Oh, cool thing we added last week. Last week is these cards here. I know you've probably seen these for a while and you think, "Oh, these haven't changed." These are dynamic now. So if you hover over one of these, like create, it will look at the current page you're on and then it'll make recommendations. So these are very smart now. So they help your team really start to leverage AI in a more meaningful way. Let me pull up the chat and see if there's anything else in here.
Um, Mostly just banter. I think
Okay.
if you want, we can transition to Q&A.
Yeah, happy to do that. One other thing before too that I wanted to show is we're building a lot more data capabilities. So you can ask a question like, where did my and what you'll see here is Breeze actually go and load the right web analytics CRM tools now. And it's then going to fire them off and it's going to use a report builder to actually build a report and then showcase that report. So it gives you a really fast way to get just insights from your data. We're building more and more into these capabilities. So there might be a query you have right now that works really well or it doesn't work really well. Keep trying; it'll get there. Like this web report was recently added, I think, in December, in terms of the different types of analytics it sits on and searches from. I don't think there's any AEO data in here, but a good one we get is like, did we get any traffic from ChatGPT? You could ask it a
I
question
made
like, what are my... Yeah,
I made a video recently too about how you can do multi-object reporting in Breeze now, and people have been really excited about that. It's not just single object reports. It builds.
yeah, that's right. And the depth is just getting better and better as we re-envision the hardest. I think this is the first time that Breeze has really felt a lot more, agentic to me. Like it does stop and think and reasons and then does work and then comes back. And it's been exciting to get to be a part of that and build onto that. Here, top 10 blog posts. And what's nice about this too is because we've embedded a lot of the loop marketing content in here, I could ask it a question like, um, what should I change about?
Well, that's loading. I think this full screen mode is that people don't know it's there and underappreciate how much it helps, especially when you're doing analytical sorts of things. Just give it a little more space. I always feel my shoulders relax when I shift into full screen mode.
Those
That's right.
quality of life improvements are way bigger than you think they are.
Mhm.
No, I love the full screen mode, especially when I'm looking at something like a chart or graph. This one isn't really a bar chart, but it really makes it just easier to view, and you can also save them off pretty easily. Let's.
It's possible that since you're in Big Lytics, that 14, whatever it was, blog post is just lorem ipsum.
It's very possible. I know I need to get better demo portals. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I think it is just a bunch of spam posts for demo data seeding.
This is a lot of recommendations. Look at this. And prioritize list. Yeah, that's great.
And this will
Or
be
I can
great if you can
rewrite
just
it
tell
for
it to
you.
do it. Ooh, yes.
I think the more exclamation points you add, the faster it works. I seem to remember seeing that in the release notes somewhere.
That's right. And the nicer you are to it, the faster it works, I've noticed.
Yeah, I mean, those calling it breezy, those terms of endearment, they go a long way.
That's right.
Okay. Well, while that's working, everyone, if you want to hop into the Q&A section, look through the questions that are there, upvote your favorites, add any that are missing. Um, we we will get through as many as we can. We're currently calling at 29 questions. So as per usual, we probably won't get through all of them, but we will get through as many as we can.
The other thing I'll say too with Breeze is it'll always get better and faster and more robust because every new model release too, we take full advantage of and leverage. And we sit down, we spend a lot of time, reworking the system prompts, reworking all the HubSpot tools so you can get a big advantage and lift. Which is why I think there was like a moment in December or early January when we released it where Breeze started to just work a lot better. It started to really click. And that's what I mean. Like if you haven't used it since then, like please go back and give it a shot. And it's really good at not only single tasks now, but like you can give it 2, 3 jobs to go do and to remember them and go do them and think and reason and come back and give you high quality response there. Another thing that we're working on now that'll come in the next couple weeks is the chiplets. So if you ask a question like, um, give me 5 contacts in Toledo, Ohio. I don't know if there's any in Toledo, Ohio in this database, but in CRM, but let's see if it pulls any. It'll come back here as like bullets, but we really want to make them like interactive, like chiplets, so they're easier for you to see and interact with. So what we'll end up doing is not giving you a table or report like this, but a proper contact card that'll load in here. So it's easier for you to use and take quick actions. You can hover over, fire off a email, upload it, update it, etc. So we call them chiplets because they're not full chips. They're like little chips that'll appear. So every first party record that's your data in HubSpot will get manifested in that way. And it should just make it a lot more elegant and easier to use and easier to navigate. And I think when you pair that with the email mode and a lot of other things that are coming soon, this is going to be an extremely powerful tool for sales reps on the go. Um, Everything from moving deals along in the pipeline, asking questions about what's required of the next stage in the dealer process, helping you generate the right messages and next steps and follow-ups, and doing the right recap. All of this will be powered by Breeze, and it's really going to help your reps and your sales team spend more time with customers and less time doing administrative work.
All right. I'm going to start firing questions at you now, if that's all right.
Go for it.
Let's see. I'll sort these most upvoted. Anonymous attendee. Interesting. Okay, well, with 10 upvotes, how does Breeze consider playbooks? If I have playbooks that I wrote for my human staff, will Breeze read and try to follow those when we ask Breeze to do things?
Oh, good question. Um, yes, it can and will. And you can also save prompts and things that can leverage those playbooks as well. Those saved prompts could be as long as you would like. So if you have a short playbook, a long playbook, you can paste it in there. As part of, I mentioned earlier about the customization of Breeze that we're building. So you as admins can have more control over Breeze. As part of that as well, we're building custom knowledge vaults for Breeze. So you could actually upload your playbooks into a knowledge vault and Breeze would have access to them. They would be like your company's knowledge that Breeze would have access to. So all the answers are just more personalized and grounded in your own work.
It's really interesting. In Sales Hub, there is a playbooks tool that creates assets in HubSpot called playbooks, and it would be really great if that asset connection was unlocked. So instead of pasting something in, you could just say, "Hey, follow this playbook." That'd be pretty cool. Um, Anonymous attendee also, or maybe another one, asked, does each HubSpot user need to connect apps to their Breeze, or is it done one hub-wide for all users? So the little apps button you've clicked there a couple times, if
Hmm.
you connect something there, is that just for you? Is that for the whole portal? Does it depend on which app you're using?
Good question. Right now, this is done at the user level. We are working to also unlock at the admin level so that you can do this one time for everybody and they don't have to come in and do that one by one. It's a little more involved to set it up that way and configure it that way, but that is something we want to do so that all of the reps don't have to go through an auth one by one to get full access and leverage here.
Nice. Can you ask Breeze to ask me questions to clarify? Does it have that back and forth format like I've seen in some other LLMs?
Yes, Breeze. A couple things you can do to jumpstart that now is if you ask it, so you can save to a memory and say something like, "Hey, always ask me clarifying questions if you would like or you don't understand something, you want me to elaborate before doing an action," and it'll do that. So every time you ask it next time, it'll do that in that type of question answer mode. We're also building in that core capability. It just got added into our harness or our framework for Breeze to actually ask questions in like a user UI way, kind of like Claude does. It'll ask you, is this email for a CEO or for a champion, et cetera, and you would select it. So that capability is being added. I don't have it today, but it is something we're working on so that Breeze could just be just more in tune with what you're actually trying to get to.
I will say too, I think it was late last year, Breeze got the ability to read and edit your CRM's data model. And when I was testing that out, I gave it a hypothetical, right? Like I am a company that provides in-home music lessons for children. I want to create a custom object for lesson. And it came back and said, okay, I think you'll need properties for this and this. It probably needs to associate with this and that. Is that right? And I was able to be like, oh no, I was thinking it would be more like this. And we had a little back and forth before I was finally like, yes, ship it. And it went and built all the things. And so I think in certain contexts it does that by default. But I also imagine,
Yeah.
like sometimes when I'm talking to Claude, I'll say, hey, I'm wondering about this thing. I don't want you to give me the answer. I want to have a conversation about it. And it will do that. And I bet Breeze would respond to that as well.
No, absolutely will. And as you use it more and more and you start to save, or those get saved as memories, it'll start to really mold to what you expect from it and how you want it to behave.
Yeah. Mary, thanks for not being anonymous. Asks, can Breeze email specific results weekly? Example, for sales, how many calls made, meetings booked, conducted, etc. from the data? You mentioned scheduled things as a coming soon.
Correct. We can't schedule the task today. It is something I'm working on getting added, especially as we build out more and more reporting capabilities inside of Breeze.
Cool. Joshua asks, Breeze often answers questions like they're HubSpot questions, but they are or need to be our business process questions. For example, Breeze usually can recommend a property for setting a value, but doesn't know from context what the right way to do something is. How can we shape that without massive documentation overhead?
That's a good question. So you wanted to, I think, sorry, we're reading the question here.
That's fine.
Massive document overhead. First about, Breeze should always be able to leverage your business's context fully to help shape every response and answer. So it shouldn't feel like, it's HubSpot, but it is part of your business just running on HubSpot. With some of the customizations we're building into Breeze, where the admin can customize where the admin can add custom instructions to Breeze and documentation, I think that'll help here. And I think also we need to have Breeze have more context, like we talked sales playbooks and other things just now, so Breeze can pull and leverage those two to answer questions that are really grounded in your brand kit and your guidelines and your playbooks, as opposed to more generic. So over time, it should get more and more personalized and less generic as we go. That's the goal here.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, like you said near the top of this meeting, we've given Breeze huge amounts of knowledge about HubSpot, not just our public facing documentation, but other things as well. And so if I, as a brand new sales rep, come in and say, when should I create a deal? It would probably default to HubSpot documentation, like, oh, a deal is created when a sale is whatever, and you click this button and here's how you do it. Whereas it sounds like what Joshua wants is in answer to a question like that, there's some company process like we create deals when these qualifications have been met. This is documented in this playbook or whatever, and that can be very hard to tease out because the vocabulary is the same. So Joshua, I'd love to hear if you have a vision of if there are markers or flags that would indicate to Breeze when this is a business question, when it's a HubSpot software question. But I think that will be increasingly important as people rely on it more and more for more things. Chad says, are more connected apps coming to Breeze soon? Would love to have Notion or other connectors for Breeze to include external data in addition to our HubSpot data.
Ooh, good question, especially on Notion.
I just saw it. We just launched or have in beta or something a Notion data sync to a real time, but I don't know how integrations like that get surfaced in Breeze.
Yeah, I can follow up on that. We're always adding new integrations into Breeze so that it can, pull in all the context it needs to really give the highest quality responses and do the best work for you. I know, yeah, I'll look into the Notion piece in particular because I know, like you mentioned, we had something come out. Let me find out why that's not here and how it can get added here.
Paul is asking a question that has my heart. I'm sad I haven't noticed this. Will Breeze's sidebar be more consistent in being a push instead of an overlay? I think it is better when it pushes the screen, which it does on index pages, but on record pages, it overlays and covers up the right column with all the association cards. I didn't realize that was inconsistent.
It is inconsistent. It is something we're working on. Every team we've asked to all adopt the same universal UX for this. So it will come over time. They will be all standardized on that one approach, which should be the push, like you mentioned, where it'll pull in. So that way Breeze isn't on top of something. Because I hate it too when I forget there's a sidebar there and Breeze is just over top of it. Ideally, it pushes it all over so you can see the full screen.
It's so interesting that individual pages own that behavior. Yeah, hopefully they get on the stick soon.
I'm
Uh,
working on it one by one.
Christine asks, if I create a prompt, will everyone on my team see that option or just me?
Oh, good question. Let's see if I have this enabled on this. Oh, I don't yet. We do have so shared prompts are coming. I believe they're actually in beta right now
They're
and
in
will
beta.
be
Yeah.
released June.
Actually, if you want me to share my screen real quick, I have it in my
Yes.
account. Um, I was just playing around with this recently. Um, how's the zoom on that? Can you see this okay? So if
Yes.
I,
You should get
what?
you have a much better demo account than I do, Kyle.
Mm, yeah, that's what I do all day. But yeah, let your team find and use this prompt. There's a little toggle right here. So by default, it's just for you, but if you want to share it, you can. And then in this prompt section, there's my prompts and then there's shared prompts. If someone else creates a prompt, you'll see it there. Right? Is there anything else to say about that?
No, that's right. That's right. And
So
that
I
way,
think
yeah.
I happen to be on the I don't know what this I don't know what the beta is called. Prompt sharing in Breeze Assistant. That's the one you want.
It's in the
I'll just.
chat.
Oh, okay. Of course it is. Well, great. Yes, that's a thing, and it's awesome. Um, Paul asks, could Breeze Assistant ever evolve into Breeze Workspace? For example, it comes with a canvas feature. For example, a persistent artifact that maintains state.
Ooh, good question. Um, yes, and we're starting with the email artifact I mentioned as the first artifact that'll come, and that'll be a little more collaborative as you're building and editing an email. But the next step to that is that Breeze will be able to create documents as artifacts, like maybe they're PowerPoints or their PDFs or their just Markdown files, and those will be able to be saved separately. Similar how Claude does that approach today, where artifacts live as like a separate entity that are attached to every single conversation.
Awesome. Another anonymous attendee question: can Breeze draft ads?
Ooh, it can draft them. It unfortunately is a copy paste style workflow today, back and forth. And part of the vision for this year is that a lot of those experiences where you're building an ad inside of HubSpot, that it is more collaborative with Breeze, and Breeze can actually make and be the editor for that, as opposed to just being the co-pilot where you're back and forth between the two. So that will be more and more seamlessly integrated as we go.
Great. Lisa says, unfortunately, Breeze creating a deal would bypass our process. Is there a way to restrict her ability to create a deal, but still allow her to create contacts and companies? Lisa, I would love to know if your users' permissions are restricted so they can't create deals, because I believe Breeze would honor that, right, Colin? Like, users cannot use Breeze as a way to get around their own user permissions.
Yeah, that's correct. Breeze would use the same permissions the user has when it creates it. It does it on behalf of the user.
Yeah. But Lisa, I don't know if you had a different thing in mind where your users have perm user permission to create deals, but not, um, anyway, the process dictates doing something else.
I mean, it's part of that too. We
Uh,
talked about like maybe there's certain tools to how that you don't want to have access to everyone that Breeze can leverage. So, and giving more control of the admins to what parts of Breeze or what skills it can leverage. So that's something we can think about as we decompose the features.
yeah. I am really interested. You mentioned custom instructions, and Joshua said something sort of disparaging about that in the chat. But I do wonder what it would be like if in custom permissions you could just say like, we do not allow people to create deals unless these criteria are met. And if it would honor that, like that would be in some ways much more elegant and powerful than user permissions are today, where you have a long list of toggles you turn on and off, and you can just say, here's the shape of it, and it can understand that, and at least the things um, they, I don't know, Breeze would be involved in would be good.
That's right.
Okay. Hannah asks, Will Breeze limit record updates or creation from a permissions perspective? For example, we do not allow people to edit companies or deals that they do not own. Does Breeze bypass this? So we just answered that, but if you want to reiterate, Breeze
No,
honors
Breeze can
user
follow.
methods.
Yes, it should honor all the permissions that have been set up and created.
Yeah. If you ever notice it not doing that, that's definitely a bug, and let us know. Any plans to have Breeze be able to look at a folder on your computer, not just in the CRM?
That is a good one. Today, we've really want Breeze to be deeply embedded inside of HubSpot to superpower your go-to-market efforts and approaches there. But I do think there's a lot of value if it could see certain projects you're working on. So because there's a lot of context there. You might have if you're in marketing, you might have a folder that has a bunch of ads you're working on or something. You might want to leverage it. I think it's something we can look into later this year when we pivot Breeze to really focus on the marketing persona and user. At the moment, I didn't think about including that capability because we didn't want it to sit on the desktop at the moment to be competing with ChatGPT or Claude, but really be deeply embedded in the HubSpot experience to give customers the most leverage there. So something to think about, and we'll take it back to the team.
Yeah, and you can upload files from your computer, and I'm verifying right now. You can choose files that are in your file manager in HubSpot. You can't choose entire folders, but I can imagine selecting folders in HubSpot File Manager is something we are more likely to explore sooner than like you were saying, actual desktop file management. I don't know. That's just my own speculation.
I think too, a lot of the projects you work on, they might be collaborative, and you might want to have all the files uploaded in a knowledge vault so your Breeze can work through it in multiplayer. And when you look at an individual user's computer, that's more single player too. So it's maybe less leverage there as well, but something to think about.
Yeah. Okay, we are coming up on time here. There are additional questions, but we never get through all of them, so that is not unusual. We will hopefully export these out and share them with you, Colin, so you and your team can have them as reference. Before we wrap up and call it a day, if people want to follow up with you after this, do you hang out on LinkedIn? What's your preferred method for people to connect with you?
Yeah, you can definitely hang out on LinkedIn, send me a message there, connect with me on there. And also feel free to send me an email as well at koehl@hubspot.com.
Amazing. Love that. Cool. Well, any last thoughts before we shut it down? From you, Colin?
No, thank you for having me. I'm excited to get to show and tell you what we were working on in Breeze and what we're working on this year. I think this will be a very big year for us, bringing in a lot more AI agent capabilities to help you, scale, your team scale. And we'll get to a place where, Breeze help you do a lot of work through itself and through other agents that are here, just to get the most leverage you can out of HubSpot. So really excited to get to lead the product.
Yeah, sounds like we should definitely have a follow-up event later this year or this time next year or something, just to here, remember all this stuff we said? Now it works. Here's the new stuff we're working on. I'm seeing a lot of thumbs up emojis in reaction to this. So would love to have you back whenever you think the time is right. Just let me know.
Awesome.
Well, thanks everyone.
Thanks
for being here. Go enjoy your Tuesdays. Hope to see you back next week when we talk about social insights. Recording will be shared out. Well, it'll be posted.
Sure.
Anyway, this was recorded.
It was.
Awesome. Well, thanks everyone for being here. That's all for us today. See y'all later.
Bye, friends.
Bye.
Welcome to the Admin HUG. No flash, just facts and a whole lot of love. Get it done. Accidental or all in by choice. Admin and flies and lift their voice. Fixing fields and hacking time. Making magic with no headline. Power drops gold. Diana brings fire in a crew that's here to lift you higher. We swap the wins and share the pain. No one's solo in this game. It's the Admin HUG, where legends log in. From chaos to clarity, that's how we win. Dirty data challenge accepted. Portal perfection fully connected. Quick fix queens, work around kings. Custom coded everything. Tabs open, coffee strong. You've been solving all along. We've got the know-how, we've top protocols up to chat. You're not just heard, you help shape the tools. Admins rewriting all the rules. Thanks for building with the HUG. Thanks for powering the HUG. Behind the campaign, push and nudge.